once again. I'm doing another recipe. This one's so quick, so easy, so simple. It's this is what I have for breakfast. And like I said, it's so simple. Sometimes it is in the morning. How much time do you really have for breakfast? Especially if you're used to going to a fast food place. You drive up, pay the money, you're done, right? Well, this whole series is meant to really replace fast food in low sodium recipes that helped me lose 240 pounds over a 2-year period, and I managed to keep it off for 2 years. But I mean, what may work for me may not work for you, and I'm not a food expert. These are recipes that I created, whatever you want to call them, because I'm so disappointed about how there were so little low sodium recipes out there. And I had high blood pressure. I was retaining water in my blood, and I'm no longer retaining water in my blood. I no longer have congestive heart failure. I was cleared about a year ago. So anyways, we'll get right to it. So we're going to start off with a rice cake. I hate these things. They're tasteless. They're like styrofoam. But I tell you what, when I got out of the hospital, there's very few foods that I could eat that were low sodium. I mean, what do? You just go, what's available, right? So I started eating these things. And there's things that we can do to this, and we'll do in later episodes, how to make these good, taste good anyways. So I am using one at the store. You get like a sleeve of them for like $2. You get like, I think 12 of them in there. So they're really inexpensive. And I'm using the no salt version. They'll say right on the blue label, no salt. Even the ones with salt, it's like 5 milligrams, really small. But because I'm trying to avoid as much sodium as possible, I'm using the no salt version. It's the same price, and they're in every grocery store. So anyways, start off with a rice cake, which, like I said, by themselves are dry and I don't know, whatever. They work. And then next thing we're going to use is I'm just using the low salt plain yogurt, Greek yogurt. Make sure when you get yogurt that it has all 5 bacterias. You'll see it on the ingredient level in the back. All the bacterias, apparently they have studies showing that it prolongs life, health, intestinal issues, like it will eliminate acid reflux. But you know what? That's what the internet says. Is it true? I don't know. But what I do know is it has very little sodium. We're using very little yogurt, and on this version it says 125 milligrams. You're allowed 2,000 a day. So, and that's for 1 cup. And we're going to use like maybe 2 tablespoons. So I mean, it's a little no sodium, right? And just simply take a spoon, and I simply put it on there. Like I said, I buy whatever's on special, because the one thing I learned is that eating healthy can be really expensive. And the whole point, fast, simple, and cheap. Otherwise, if it isn't that way, man, are you really going to stick with it? I mean, for the long term, the whole point is just not to go on a diet. It's to change your diet and to stick with it. I develop a taste for plain yogurt. It's kind of sour. People don't like it. My tastes have changed. But anyways, for you don't have to worry about that. Not with this little recipe. Then what I do is I'm a real big fan of natural, unfiltered honey. Okay, you could use real maple syrup if you want to. A little bit more calories there, I guess. But real maple syrup. I'm so surprised. Read the label. According to the label, it has very little no calories, and it'll have magnesium, copper, phosphates. All these really things that are supposedly good for you. But I just like honey, because supposedly it's supposed to have some natural antibiotic qualities in your intestinal tract. And I don't know. Is that true? I'm a glass guy. I don't know. All I know is I like the taste, and natural honey is supposed to process different in your system. Apparently, it accepts it more. You know, the one interesting thing about natural honey that that I found out is that I had sinus problems almost my whole life. Now, keep in mind, I was overweight, and when I started using natural honey in my diet, all my sinus, I haven't had a sinus issue in 2 years. And you know, one old farmer told me, and, you know, is it true or not? I don't know. That because it's made from pollen, and sinus issues is just an inflammation of the sinus glands. I mean, basically by saying, "Ooh, this is bad," we're going to swell up. It's a self-defense mechanism. That because it's made from pollen, and your body will accept honey in most cases. Like I said, I'm not an expert, just glass guy. And this is what I was told, that it will accept honey because the body naturally will accept honey in most cases for most people. And they'll say, "Oh, this ain't no bad. This is made from pollen, and now, oh, this ain't bad." And it's going to, it's not going to, you're not going to react to pollen as much. And in my case, no more sinus problems. I was on all that. I won't mention the name brands of all the medication for sinus issues, but I was on all of them, and they weren't really effective. But this, 2 years now, natural honey. Who knows? Natural, unfiltered, local honey. And then what I'll do, I like cinnamon. You don't have to use cinnamon. You know, just out there. You can just do it plain with the honey. And then, you know, why not? A little bit of nutmeg. Don't have to. And I'm barely using any. I'm just dash. No big deal. And like I said, I just formed a habit for ginger, right? It's supposed to be good for the intestinal tract. And I just kind of like it. It's, you know, once you cut out salt out of your diet, you crave flavor because salt is an enhancer. Unfortunately, it also makes you retain water. Anyways, so got all that on there. And sometimes I'll just do a little dab, just a little bit dab of cheapest olive oil I could find. I use extra virgin. It's not special. Like I said, I just a little bit, And because of all the spices on top of it, it just kind of, it makes like a, you know, compare it to like icing. So it's kind of like, you'll notice when you do this, it's kind of like a donut. It tastes just like a crunchy donut. And I kind of mix it around. You know, you can even do black pepper in here. And it gives it kind of an interesting zing. Here, I'll show you. If you can see that, you know, you could use apple spice, whatever. But right now we have no sodium for the rice cake wafer with the yogurt. Like I said, I didn't measure it out. The whole point of this is not to measure because it's quick and simple. See how fast and simple this was? For breakfast, I'll have one of these, an apple and an orange, and then I usually do a little bit of either one of the little 4-ounce milk deals, or I'll drink a big tall glass of water, sparkling mineral water. It's up to you. And that's my breakfast. And I'm full. I am literally full till 6 o'clock at night. The one thing, a little hint, is that if you mix protein with like vegetables, it'll slow down your metabolism. At least in my case, it has. Or I'm not as hungry. So, anyways, veggies and fruits will process in your system very quickly, and sometimes you get hungry right away. When I do this, at least for me, takes care of that. But anyways, like a crunchy donut. This is really good if you were used to eating a lot of snacks and like sugary stuff like donuts and stuff like that. Great substitute. And honestly, I like it better. It's kind of crunchy. I like that. And it's not stale. It's not dry. And like I said, I had just a dabble of olive oil. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You don't have to add the cinnamon, ginger, or nutmeg. I just did this to taste. And you can experiment with this. That's it. But it fills you up too. Excuse me. So, like I said, super easy, super cheap, super simple. And, you know, that's what it's all about. And you almost have to make it that way if you're going to stick with it. And you'll notice that when you start eliminating salt, your taste will change. Sodium, when you eliminate it or reduce it. You're allowed 2,000 milligrams a day, at least I am. And I try to limit that to about 1,000 a day. And it's worked out for me. May not work out for you. I'm not a health expert, nor am I a chef. You can honestly see that, right? So, well, thank you for listening. One thing I do want to mention here is that try to keep positive. You know, life is full of interesting things, and don't dwell on it. Once in a while, when you walk your path of life, you're going to stub your toe. That's okay. Keep on walking. If the road didn't have a few bumps in it, the ride would be boring. You know, so keep positive. And like I said, if you improve yourself, you know, if like with me, I'm a lonely guy. If you improve yourself and you give it a good effort, other people will see onto that, and then hopefully, you know, you'll find that special person will appreciate you for you. And even if it doesn't, oh, hey, positive attitude, you're improving yourself, you'll be a happier person, at least in my case. So, well, thank you for listening. And if you'd like to drop me a note, email, a comment, idea, I'd love to hear from you. Like I said, I'm just a simple glass man. I'm not all that bright. I'm just too dumb to say no. So, well, thank you again. You have a great day.